Hey guys, hope you guys are enjoying you enjoyed the first half of the chapter 4. Kind of got pretty creative with your projects. Now we're moving on to section 4.3, which is all pretty much the math behind this. We have the new concept here, which is base number systems. So we're going to use our same number symbols, but we're going to think as them differently, or the values have different meanings. So this section, what we're going to do is break it up into 3 parts just to make our work easier. And so the first part, section 4.3a, is all about translating to base 10. So taking these different base number systems and figure out what they equal in our base 10 number system that we use. So if you're having trouble with any of this section, make sure you go through. You can rewatch this video. There's the additional videos linked onto the modules. So make sure you're taking your time and going through and actually understand before you move on to the next section. So there are basically 3 steps to go to base 10. Next section we'll learn how to go from, but we're going to base 10. So the first step is we write out our exponents. So we write out, we start on the right and move left, and we start with 0. Next step, which is kind of what you learned a little about 4.1, is expanded notation. So we're going to write it out in expanded notation. It's pretty simple there. All you need to do is just loop around. And then step 3 is to simplify the expression. So we're going to go through 2 example problems. And if you guys just want to pause at the start of the example problem, try to figure out on your own, and then just rewatch it at the end. That's a good way to kind of practice while you're learning. Alright, so here's the first one. We're going to translate this to base 10. So we got 2, 1, 3, 4 in base 5. So first thing we do, step 1, we write out our exponents. So we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. So those are exponents, and now the exponents basically help us determine how to write expanded notation. So all we do is just kind of a loop process, where we start with the number here, and we always start on the left, and we go 2 times 5 to the 3rd power. So we'll write that out. 2 times 5 to the 3rd power plus. And then we just move on down the list. 1 times 5 to the 2nd. 3 times 5 to the 1st. 4 times 5 to the 0 power. So I'll write those out. 2 times 5 squared. Oh, made a mistake. It's not 2, that's supposed to be 1. So your teacher can make mistakes, it's alright. And then plus 3 times 5 to the 1st. And then plus 4 times 5 to the 0 power. And you can see here's 2, 1, 3, 4, and it's all base 5 because there's 5 in every single row. So that's step 2, write it out in expanded notation. Now the next step is to simplify. So I'm just going to take a calculator and plug those all in. So after we plug them all in, we get 250 plus 25 plus 15 plus 4. And then I'm just going to add all 4 of those numbers together. And when you add those all numbers together, we get 294. And this is how we're going to leave our answer. We don't have to write base 10 next to it, because if we leave the number or the answer alone, we're assuming that it's already in base 10. So there's our answer, 294. So that's what 2, 1, 3, 4 in base 5 turns out to be equal to. Alright, we'll do another problem here just to keep continuing practice, making sure we're getting good at this. Alright, so we're going to translate to base 10 again, and our number is 101100 in base 2. Base 2 is also known as binary, so if you see that anywhere on the questions, don't get confused. Base 2 is binary. So we're going to start out writing our exponents. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got 6 numbers we're going to write out in an expanded notation. We got 1 times 2 to the 5th plus. Now this next part, if you don't feel like doing, you don't have to. I'm not going to count it off, but be careful. Since we have 0, and 0 times anything is 0, and we're going to add it, so it's basically going to go away. You don't have to write the next part, but I am going to. 0 times 2 to the 4th plus. Alright, now these ones you have to write because they're actually a value. 1 times 2 to the 3rd power plus 1 times 2 squared plus. Alright, and then the rest you don't have to write technically, but I'm going to write them out. 0 times 2 to the 1st and 0 times 2 to the 0th power. Now we're going to go ahead and use a calculator to help us figure out what these equal. So we used the calculator and we got 32 plus 0 plus 8 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0, and we add those all together. So that huge number really is just 44. It's kind of fun about base 10. You have these huge numbers and they just become simple. Alright, so that's it. Now this is kind of the easier step. The next one, if you're having more trouble, let me know. We're going to go through and we're going to take short quizzes just to make sure you guys are understanding this and going along the process. Continue to try to do the ones for the homework. And once again, if you're having trouble, watch this video again, or there's the other videos linked to help you out. Okay, good luck with this and the rest of the other modules on this chapter.